What up, African world? It's Home Team here, and welcome back to another video of African history, culture, and worldview. And welcome back to my series, A Closer Look. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Soninke people. By supporting this channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and supporting this content. If you'd like access to full courses and sources, or you simply want to show your support, you may do so by clicking the Patreon link in the description box below. The Soninke are unique people in the history of West Africa because they established the first sign of significant urban development in the region. The key word here being significant because there were many other urban sites all throughout West Africa. The Soninke, or Proto-Soninke people, are believed to have founded the stone settlement at Dar Tichet. The earliest evidence of Tichet culture began around 1900 BC, with its classical phase beginning around 1600 BC. This is important to note as it concerns the Soninke people because they have a very long history of urban planning, stone structures, and civilization as a whole. The first powerful kingdom the Soninke founded was called Ouagadougou, known to us today as Ghana. Established around 300 AD, Ghana later formed into an empire around 500 AD. These dates are certainly subject to change via new insight or information, but they're generally accepted. The Soninke have a very rich tradition of oral history that speaks about their origin and even about the first historian or griot. This body of work in oral form is called the Daousi. Unfortunately, however, most of the traditions are lost, but some really good ones made it in the history books today. The story of Gassir's lute is a classic African legend that I feel needs to be a standard amongst all Afro-descendant people. Gassir's lute is about a Soninke prince who is running from his destiny, seeking glory on the battlefield, waiting for his father to die so that he can become king. But running from his true purpose brought much turmoil to himself, his people, and his family. He asked an old wise man to reveal to him if he would become a king, but the old man told him that he wouldn't become king, but a griot. Gassir ran from his true purpose, causing further damage, but once he accepted his destiny, he attained the very thing he wanted all along, for his name to never die. This story is something special because there are so many things you can take from it. For me, it exemplifies the value of living in your purpose, even if you think it's not something you imagined for yourself. Living a purpose-filled life is where true happiness comes from. The Soninke were well known as merchants, and for quite some time they controlled and benefited from trans-Saharan trade. This is where their wealth originated. In fact, it was through their merchant business activity that they spread throughout other parts of Africa, becoming interconnected with other ethnic groups, creating new identities. For example, the Marca of Mali and Burkina Faso claim Soninke ancestry, as do the Yarsi of Burkina Faso. The Yankane of Gambia and Senegal also claim this. The Soninke and Jula people also absorbed into one another through lineages and other social relationships. I find it interesting the impact the Soninke had on other African civilizations. Soninke statehood influenced other classical West African civilizations like Mali and Songhai. In fact, one dynasty of the Songhai can be said to be of Soninke parentage. The Askia dynasty, founded by Askia the Great, was not really a Songhai dynasty. Askia Muhammad came from a Soninke lineage, and he had many sons who became princes and rulers who continued the Soninke line all throughout the empire. The author of one of the most important documents of the Songhai Empire was actually a Soninke man named Mahmud Kati. So as we can see, the Soninke people's contribution to classical West African civilization is significant. Soninke elites converted to Islam in the 11th century, and this is where their history takes a slightly different turn. Traditional Soninke society is highly stratified, with status determined by an individual's patrilineal descent group. Wealthy Islamic clerical lineages are distinguished from secular ruling families. Together, these groups form the Soninke elites. Today, the majority of Soninke people continue to live in Mali and parts of Senegal and Mauritania. However, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau, the Gambia, and Guinea all have significant Soninke populations. Today, the Soninke number around 2.6 million people. Many adult males travel to France, where they work as laborers and send home remittances. The Soninke continue to have a reputation throughout West Africa as traders of diamonds and other goods. Those living in coastal communities have become skilled sailors, and some have even enlisted in the French merchant marines. In the Soninke homeland, however, most are small-scale farmers who cultivate millet, sorghum, maize, and other grain crops. Well, Aloha guys, I'm hoping you learned about this brief history of the Soninke people. If you like these videos and want to help in its continued production, consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself, remember your ancestors. Peace.